Hello friends, next topic in DBMS is capabilities or advantages of DBMS. There are many advantages. First advantages is controlling redundancy. Controlling redundancy means controlling the duplicate data. Once you enter the data, you should not enter the same data again. Okay. So example in college database, example student name is Ashok. Okay, you entered Ashok data, his name, his address, then okay, first year, how much fees is paid, mobile number, everything you entered. Okay, after entering some data, again you should not enter again Ashok first year. Okay, you should not enter again same data again. Okay, so it become a duplicate data. Okay, so in the file systems, in like in MS Excel, MS SL, okay, if you enter the data again, okay, it not give any warning message. If you enter data in DBMS like SQL, Oracle, MySQL, etc. Okay, in that it give warning message. Okay, saying that the data is already entered like this. Clear, no? So DBMS control the redundancy, control the entering the duplicate data. So data redundancy, such as tend to occur in file processing approach, leads to wasted storage space. If you enter the same data, it wastage of memory. Okay, so duplication of effort. Okay, wastage of time. Okay, same data you are entering again. When multiple copies of data need to be updated. Okay, it give problems when you want to enter, you want to change the data. Okay, if you enter Ashok two times, okay, in one place you change the data, again in another place it not change, it gives problem. Okay, so assume in while you enter the first time, he assume he paid 5,000, next time he paid some 5,000 again more, so he totally paid 10,000, but in other record it remains 5,000 only, so it become a problem. So it becomes an inconsistency. So on the other hand, redundancy can be used to improve performance of queries. Okay, if you control the redundancy, it improves the performance. Indexes, for example, an entirely redundant, but helps in DBMS processing queries more quickly. So it's very easy to query. Okay, you can easily open exact data, how much fees is paid. Okay, if it is a duplicate data, so one in one place it shows 10,000, in one place it says it show 5,000, it become confusion. In DBMS the duplicate data not allowed. Okay, it not give to enter the data, even though if you try to enter the same data, the DBMS not allows. Another example of using redundancy to improve performance is to store extra field in order to avoid need to access other tables. Okay, so example, assume in office there is one all the student database is there. In library also some database, all the student database is there. If you join the table, okay, if you enter the same data again, Ashok two times, so it become confusion in library table also. Okay, how it comes two times. Okay, it become confusion also. So DBMS should provide the capability of automatically enforce the rule that no inconsistency are introduced. Okay, DBMS should provide capability. Automatically it says that the data is already entered like this. Okay, whenever you update, it says that the data is updated. Okay, so it should not get confused. Okay, so DBMS not allowed to enter duplicate data. So it control the redundancy. That is the first point. So second is restricting unauthorized access. Restricting unauthorized access. DBMS should provide a security and authorization subsystem which is used for specifying restrictions on user accounts. See, for example, okay, so whenever you open the computer, okay, sometimes it asks password. Okay, those who know the password only that person can open it. Other person can't open that computer. Okay, can't enter in, can't open Windows. Okay, in bank also. Okay, so all the bank employees have their own password. Okay, and sometime their password is thumb. Okay, okay, so like this they enter, it become very unique. Okay, so unknown person, okay, other than bank employee can't open their computer. Okay, Suppose if other person open that computer, he may change the account balance. Okay, he may change anything, he modify it, so it's not security. Okay, so DBMS provides the security. Okay, so it allow only to authorized person only. Non-authorized person can't open that particular computer. Common kinds of restrictions are to allow read-only access. Okay, no updation. Okay, some give some restriction. Okay, only you can read it, but you can't update it. You can't change it. Access only to a subset of data. Okay, only you can read it, but can't update it. Third advantages is providing persistent storage for program object. Object-oriented database system make it easier for complex runtime objects, list, tree, to be saved in secondary storage so as to survive beyond program termination and to be retrievable at a later time. So by object-oriented database system, like using C++, Java, .NET, okay, uh, okay, using that it's easier for complex runtime. Okay, some data are very complex. Okay, sometime in ATM also you can update the data. You can do transition. In bank also you can do transition. But all are related. Okay, by using object-oriented programming. Okay, so you can easily update the data. Okay, so in one place if you update, you can see in other place. Okay, assume in Karnataka you have the account. Okay, you can using ATM you can do transaction in other than other state also. In Delhi also you can change the data. Okay, you can withdraw the amount, but it get updated in Karnataka bank also, like this. Okay, and the whatever you do changes, it's stored in secondary storage. Okay, you can see in later time also. Providing storage structure for efficient query processing. DBMS maintains indexes, typically in the form of trees or hash table. DBMS maintains indexes, which is very unique. Okay, in the form of tree structure or hash tables that are utilized to improve the execution time of queries and updates. That helps to improve the execution time. Okay, so the index are very unique one. Okay, they don't have duplicate values. Okay, so it improves the execution time, queries and updates. The query processing and optimization module is responsible for choosing an efficient query execution plan for each query submitted to the system. So DBA is the person who take all the responsibility of keeping all the data safely. Okay, he maintain the data. Next, providing backup and recovery. Providing backup and recovery. The subsystem having this responsibility ensures that recovery is possible in the case of a system crash during execution of one or more transaction. Okay, what happens? Your data is stored in hard disk. Okay, in some in memory. Okay, some while doing transition, the hard disk may damage, may corrupt. Okay, your system gets shut down, data may not be saved. Okay, so you have to keep the backup. Okay, so DBA is the responsibility of to keeping the data, one more copy of data. Okay, one data is lost, you can take another data. Okay, another copy of the data. So DBMS it always saves backup. Always, whenever you enter the data, it's save in other place also. If this data is lost, you take it from other place. Okay, so DBMS automatically save the data, and whenever the system get corrupt, okay, when our system get crashed, it take data from other place. Providing multiple user interfaces. For example, query languages for casual users, programming language interfaces for application programmers, forms and command code for parametric users, menu-driven interfaces for standalone users. See, so the data can see by many peoples. Okay, once you save the data, that data can see by many peoples. So in bank also, there are many employees out there. In one computer, if you change the transition, the other people also can see the transition. Okay, suppose manager also can see the transition because the data is saved in server computer. From server computer, anybody can open it. Next, representing complex relationship among data. A DBMS should have capability to represent such relationships and to retrieve related data quickly. Okay, so there are many relationships. Example, in college, in office, all the student database is there. In library, all the students who borrowed the books, who issued the book, all the data are there. In sports office also, it contains all the student data who are participating in sports are there. But all are related. Okay, if you change in one place, assume one student left the college, he joined other college. At that time, you should update in all the places, in library also, in the sports also. Okay, it should be related. Okay, automatically should update it. Okay, automatically should delete in other computer also. In office data, if you delete the student data, if you left the college, should delete in all the places. Okay, so DBMS do all those things. Enforcing integrity constraint. Most database applications are such that the semantics, the meaning of the data require that it satisfies certain restrictions in order to make sense. Perhaps the most fundamental constraint on data item is its data type, which specifies the universe of values from which its values be drawn. Okay, so example, you have to give some constraint. Okay, so example, in place while you enter in the form, okay, in place of mobile number, okay, in mobile number field, you can't allow to enter some text. Only numbers are allowed. Like this, some constraints are there. Okay. So in place of name, you can't enter the numbers. Okay, only texts are allowed. Okay, like this. Another kind of constraint is referential integrity, which says that if the database includes an entity that refers to another one, the latter entity must exist in the database. For example, R564547 CIL102 is a tuple in the enrolled in relation, indicating that student ID, this indicates student ID, is taking course with ID. Okay, the course name is CIL102, like this. There must be a tuple in the student relation corresponding to student with that ID. Okay, it should be, okay, assume one student is computer student. Okay, it should not change with that electronic student. It should be related to that. Okay, that is a constraint. Next, permitting interferencing and action via rules. In a deductive database system, one may specify declarative rules that allow the database to infer new data. Example, figure out which students are on academic probation. Such capability would take the place of application programs that would be used to ascertain such information otherwise.